We are NONOTAK. We are an artist studio with Takami Nakamoto and Noemi Schipfer, myself. We started working together in 2011. Tak has an architecture and musical background, and I was more like a visual artist and studying like drawings. And when we started collaborating together, the idea was to mix our knowledge, so sound, space and visual all together, and that's how we came up with installation format. The light medium became pretty fast our main medium, because what we love about light is the immaterial aspect of it. It's not physical, but it has like a huge influence on its environment. It creates shadows. It's like also like a light source. And yeah, we wanted to explore more and more about this, about light and how we can create installation that plays with perception and everything synchronized to the music, so it gives also like a soul to the light.
We had to propose an idea for like a wall drawing. That's how we started the collaboration, and then after we finished this project, we realized we wanted to work on mediums that is more focused on light and experience in general. So creating installation, combining sound, video, light and space in general.
We spent the entire summer to create our first ever installation, learn all the techniques, how to map, how to synchronize like sound and visual all together. For this first installation, we wanted to create a space that can shift between like something a little bit virtual, like an immaterial space. That's how we came up with projecting on fabric, because fabric allows us to, because it's like semi-transparent, it catches the lights, but at the same time it's also passing through the lights. So designing like a structure with different layers of this fabric allows us to create kind of like a mini architecture where we can create the space with visuals and projection mapping and synchronize it to the sound. And yeah, that's how we start working on installation with projection mapping at the beginning.
Most of the time it's sometimes coming across something I really like in terms of light quality or textures or materiality, and then trying to experiment so I can express something out of it.
So I think the space has a huge influence on the decision we want to make as an installation. We have we have two different types of installation, like more like black box installation and site-specific installation. So for site-specific installation, for sure, like the space gonna give us like the clue of what we want to achieve, and we also want to include like the architectural, the environment element inside our installation. So it would be more like how we're gonna light it up, how we can increase the environment itself. But yeah, the volume of the space is gonna have a huge impact on what we decide to create. Should we fill the entire space, or should we just explore it like only the floor or like one wall? So those kind of elements gonna give us like a feel of what we should do. For black box installation, I think we always try in our setup, we always try to be the most simple and generic possible, so we can have more freedom inside the programming. Because if we design something too complicated at the beginning, then it will be harder for us to use it like as a grid kind of, and have ability to change radically the programming. When it's like just lines or dots or a grid, we can really play on how we create the visual inside this really generic and flat setting up.
So conceiving a piece of work comes from like a vision first. We have an idea. It's usually like a fantasy or like a dream about like being surrounded by light or like some sort of feeling that is usually abstract, but you cannot have that sort of like visual in your head, but you don't know what medium could fit for it. You don't know exactly what are the technical environment for that, but you start imagining different ways to create that visual abstract like abstract dream that you have. And then little by little, reality is gonna dictate the way you're gonna create that. And I think I really like that attachment to reality, because our work is about making something dreamy become real, and for that there are like a lot of like technical aspect involved to it, and little by little that reality start dictating the medium we can use to that. So first will be like the vision, then we're gonna start prototyping in small scale, and then because usually what we work on has a lot of numbers of like parts, so it's usually about like repetition of a lot of modules. So we usually make several modules to recreate in a small scale what we want to achieve in a bigger scale.
I think the beginning is to, for sure, when we create a new piece, we ask about what is the size of the space, because the size of the space also gonna give us the scale of the installation we can present. We really love to work on a huge range of scale. It could be like really small, but also like for huge spaces. So the scale of the space we got proposed is the first element. Then when we decide on a setup, I think because obviously the type of installation we create is so huge that we only have like a few little time to program it while we're on site before the opening days. So I guess through the year we learn how to be more and more flexible in terms of how we can program it. So we try to create more like an instrument to be able to play in live. About the program, because we're working like Tak and I really closely, we can do like the sound and the visual really simultaneously and change everything like in front of the actual art piece. So in terms of process, I think it's more about creating a tool where we can kind of be in front of it and change everything and start from the beginning if we want, and not have like something too strong from the start. So it gives us the most flexibility to decide when we're having the installation in front of us and programming that way. For this first solo exhibition in Korea, we have like 4 works, and because it's a solo exhibition, we wanted to showcase a lot of different aspects of the light mediums. So we have 4 different kind of ways to work with light. So the first one is called Daydream. This is one of our first installation and one that is pretty iconic to us because it's the first installation that kind of make us tour as well and develop our artwork. So it's a projection mapping base with the translucent fabric screen that we talk about.
Secondly, we have Hidden Shadows, where I'm sitting at. It is a screen-based installation, but because we have a floor, we have an area where like visual goes through the floor, so it really affects your balance and your sense and your reference to reality. And I think it's a great installation to spend time. So it's a longer installation that is like almost 20 minutes long. And then we have Narrow, which is an installation that I consider more as a light sculpture that creates a perspective within space. And I like the fact that people can cross the installation, they can go around it. And actually there are 2 ways of looking at the installation. If you look it from the front, you'll see like direct light. And then if you're looking from the back, you'll be able to see indirect source of light play. So I think it's great to have an installation with different perspective.
And the last one is called Narcissus.
It's actually one of my favorite installations, maybe because I spend a lot of time working on it, developing the idea of Narcissus.
This is a kinetic light installation. It's from our latest work. This one is using like mirrors and motors. We have like 3 types of light on this installation. One that is playing with the reflection on the mirror and create extra pattern, not only like the pattern that is created by the movement of the mirrors, but also with the light leaks that is created by the mirrors. And we also have like LEDs hidden behind it that create like leaks and like backlighting as well, so we can highlight the silhouette of the movement of the kinetic part.
The whole idea is to have the contrast between these really greedy mirror setup versus this really organic, nature-like reflection.
I think I want to continue more and more like playing with light. We love to develop more solo exhibition where we can also like showcase different parts of our works, not only one installation. Continuing doing like live show as well, because this is a big part of our work too, is to do like audiovisual performance. All our works is about light, and we always work with like controlled light, so a dark environment, but something that we would love to explore more and more is also like to create work that can work like in daylight as well, to have like a completely not controlled environment, but find something that's still aligned with our work. Working with daylight would be the next challenge, I think.